Alright, 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 alright. Y'all know what time it is. It's July 1st. What are we doing? What I read in June and my TBR for July. Woo! Thank you. Thank you very much. June was a bit hectic. I hate to say. June kind of was rough. I'm gonna be honest with you. But it's okay because we still read. We still read some books. And let's talk about them, okay? The first book I read in June was The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. This is the fourth book in the Truly Devious world. This is kind of an in-between book. It takes place at a summer camp. Our main character, Stevie, is called in by this billionaire who runs this camp now, or owns the camp, doesn't really run it. She is called in to investigate this murder that happened years ago. And the camp is kind of located in a small town, so it's more of a small town mystery as well. And honestly, it was good. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I give it a 3.5 stars. The the story, it was good. The plot was good for a very long time, but it was a bit slow. It was really slow. Like I think I got to like 150 and we finally got to like the first real true clue. So it was really slow and just didn't really feel like um how her books usually do. But I think it's because it's just like an in-between book and so we're just kind of enjoying her and her friends more and like seeing her life. Um, but definitely the mystery was kind of weird, and the way that it was solved was also a little weird. I don't know. But, anyways, I give this a 3.5 stars. It was entertaining. So, really, this month was a bunch of like lighter books that weren't hard to read and like maybe weren't necessarily super good, but like they were entertaining enough for me to be supplemented for the month of June because June was crazy. The next book that I read in June was Better Than the Movies. This began my romance kick yet again. Yeah. I read Better Than the Movies. This has been on my TBR for quite some time. It's been on my shelf for a very long time collecting dust. But this book was good. This book is about Wes and Liz. They are next door neighbors. They are also rivals. Basically, there's like a parking spot that they all want, that they both want. Um, and so they like fight over it, whatever. But her childhood crush comes back into the picture. Well, her childhood crush moves back into town, and he becomes friends with Wes, like really good friends with Wes. And Liz is like, bro, you need to help me get him. I'll give you the parking spot, like whatever. And so then ensues that. I gave this a 4 stars. It was quite good. It wasn't the best thing I've ever read, but it was entertaining. I read it, I had some fun. It wasn't what I really thought it was going to be. She basically is just obsessed with rom-coms, but I really thought that like her and Wes would be like acting out different like rom-com famous scenes based on the cover. That's not what happened. But that's okay. It just wasn't what I expected. So, Better Than Movies, 4 stars. It was entertaining. It did its job for me. Um, yeah. Now I can say that I've read it. I'm gonna stop putting them there. That's not gonna go well. Okay. Okay, next. Next, I read The Summer of Broken Rules. This book was so good. I recommend this. Please read it in the summer at any point. So good. Also, her new book just came out, and I'm so stoked to read it. I had a dream about me stealing it from Barnes and Noble because I'm broke and I can't really buy any books right now. So it's kind of depressing. But, anyways, I'm excited to read it when I get to it, which I'll probably read it in the fall just because of what the plot is, the premise. Um, but The Summer of Broken Rules, I gave this a 5 stars. It was so good. This is about Meredith and Wit, and Meredith had a sister. She passed away like 2 years ago at this point. And they would always go to Martha's Vineyard every summer as a family. To reconnect with their cousins and their family. It was like family reunion every single year at Martha's Vineyard. Um, but they haven't gone for 2 years because her sister Claire has died. Um, and but they go back because of their cousin's wedding. So they're there, and she meets Wit. He is on the groom side. He is the groom's stepbrother, and they, yeah. Um, So there is a game of assassin that ensues on the island during, or on Martha's Vineyard during this book, during this week before the wedding. And so Meredith and Wit form an alliance, and then there is a very quick romance that ensues. And it was so good. I really loved it. Their banter was adorable. And I just gave it a 5 stars because it was so summery and it just had all the vibes, and I really enjoyed it. And the third act conflict was not as like annoying as a lot of third act conflicts can be, if you know what I mean. So I just really enjoyed The Summer of Broken Rules. It was so good. Please read this in the summer at any time. I recommend this book 100%. 5 stars from me. Okay, the next two books that I read are part of a series. So I read The Inheritance Games and The Hawthorne Legacy, and they were pretty good. Ugh. The Inheritance Games and The Hawthorne Legacy. Oh, sorry. The Inheritance Games and the Hawthorne Legacy, they're both kind of slow moving, but when they pick up, they pick up. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm giving them both 4 stars. I haven't read the final Gambit yet because I'm waiting for it to come out in paperback, but that's that. Yeah, I don't know. There were a few. It's a little cringy, and there's a love triangle in it, but it was pretty good, so I give it a 4 stars. Basically, this is about a girl. Her name is Avery, and she is basically living in her car. And then one day, she inherits some old guy's um, fortune. So she's now like a billionaire overnight, and it's very odd. But she's like navigating that. She didn't know the the dead. She didn't know the billionaire at all, so she doesn't really understand why she's inherited this money. So basically, they're trying to figure that out. That's like the whole premise of the book. Of the book in the books. So yeah, but this is really good. I'm really enjoying this series. Yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of like average. There's nothing. A lot of people rave about this series super hard, but I'm not feeling anything that's really getting catching my attention. Anything crazy. I don't have any large um, emphatic feelings towards this book, towards these books in this series. So I'm not in a rush to read the final Gambit, but I'll read it when I read it, you know? So, anyways, that's this. I gave it 4 stars. So good. And then finally in June, I read Slammed by Colleen Hoover. I really was trying to get Coho off my shelf because her books are just addicting and I need to stop buying them. And I really don't feel like every time I have a Coho book on my shelf, I feel like obligated to read it. So I'm just trying not to do that, like it feels like an obligation rather than I want to read this. But Slammed was so good. So this is about a girl named Lincoln, and her father died, I want to say 6 months ago or something. And so her family moves to Michigan for her mom's job. And then right when they get there, she meets their neighbor that lives across from them. His name is Will. He's 21, she's 18. So it's kind of age gap, but it's not really. It's like fine. But it's very insta lovey. They really like each other. He approaches her and asks her out on a date, and things kind of ensue from there. And we see the story progress. If you know, you know. But this was good. This I gave 4 stars. I'm probably leaning more towards 4.75 because it was a little draggy, in my opinion, but it was very good at the same time. Like the story, Colleen Hoover does a really, really good job with stories. Like I don't know how she does it, but they're incredible all the time. I don't know how she does it, but I really enjoy them 24/7. Anyways, Slammed was so good. Read it. I will not be continuing on with the series, nor will I be continuing on with Coho. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with you, Colleen Hoover. I've already read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of your books. Okay, I'm done. That is enough. That's where I cap it. But 4.75, very good. I enjoyed 100%. Maybe someday. That's so funny because one of her books is called Maybe Someday. But maybe someday I will pick up another Coho book, but it is not going to be anytime soon. Anyways, I have some other things to get to first. Anyways, so that's what I read in June. I read 6 books. It was a good time. June was really fun. I enjoyed my reading. It wasn't as much reading as I would have loved to do, but you know what? That's okay. Because you live and you learn. And honestly, I just had a really busy life this June, so it happened. Now, July, I feel like I'm in more of a rhythm and I know what's happening more often, and things are less unexpected than they used to be. So, I have a larger TBR. Now, this is most likely I'm going to read all of these. But you also never know. So, first thing I want to talk about is Redeeming Love. I am currently reading this with my friend. We have a little book club ish thing. And yeah, so we're currently reading this, but we haven't gotten very far because coordinating our schedules is kind of rough. But like basically every 10 chapters we're meeting to talk about it. So it's not like just buddy reading and I can just like speed through this and finish it. We're reading it together, okay? It's happening like that. So, anyways, I'm 10 chapters into Redeeming Love and it's very good. I'm enjoying it. That's all I have to say. But this is on my TBR for this month. So, there you go. Now on to some non-book clubby thingies. I would really like to get to things we never got over. Um, I have a video planned, and you'll probably figure out what it is in a few seconds, but a video plan and Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score is on it. I know I'm so late to the game with this one, but I mean, what are you gonna do? Alright, I just haven't picked it up yet, so we're gonna pick it up this month. I'm basically cleaning out my romance shelf this month, okay? Slay. Also, in June, I managed to read all closed door romances, non-sexual romances. It's crazy. I have not read a single sex scene in a month. That is crazy. No smut. Absolutely zero smut so far. That is crazy to me. All 6 of those books did not have smut in them. And a Coho book didn't have smut in it? What? That's crazy. Anyways. Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. She's on my radar. Basically, I don't know a single thing about this book. Let me think about it for a second. Knox Morgan. Knox Morgan doesn't tolerate drama, especially in the form of a stranded runaway bride. Ooh. Naomi Witt is on the run, not just from her fiance, but she runs away to her twin to this town called Knockamout. I'm sure most of you know what this is about. I'm not going to talk about it. Basically, it's bad boy it's bad boy good girl romance. Slay! I'm excited to read it. I'm excited to see what Lucy Score is all about because everybody raves about her writing. Anyways, great, awesome. The next thing that I have on my radar, I just dropped my book. Anyways, before I drop my book, I was gonna say that the next thing on my TBR is The Things We Leave Unfinished by Rebecca Yarros. Everyone has been raving about Fourth Wing lately. I have had this book on my TBR for months. Haven't read it, so I'm very excited to see how this goes. I think it's a historical romance, but I'm not sure. But I think there's letters. Because there's letters. I'm not quite sure what this is about, but it's a romance, and I heard that it's very emotional, so she's on the TBR. Amazing. Next. Oh, yes. The next thing that I have on my TBR is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. This is high school, so it's young adult-ish, maybe, possibly. But oh yeah, okay. This book is told in 4 parts through her high school years. So I'm very interested in what happens. We basically just follow her life, I guess. I'm not sure if it's a romance or if it's lit fic, but I'm very interested to see what happens in this book. I think this is gonna be really good. It's kind of smaller, but I've had this book on my shelf for a while, so hopefully we get to this. The next book I have on my TBR is If He Had Been With Me by Laura Nolan. This book I am hoping will catapult me into high school nostalgia. So basically this is about Autumn and Finn, and they used to be best friends and inseparable, but now they ignore each other. Finn's popular, but Autumn's not. Autumn has a boyfriend though. Ooh, crazy. Yeah, but it's a romance. But I've heard that it's also sad. I know um Sarah Crowley read this and she said that the ending was absolutely crazy and she just couldn't stop thinking about it for a while. So I'm gonna read this. We'll see if it does the same to me, but I never know. I never know. Anyways, Oh. Okay, the next book on my TBR is Addicted to You. We're gonna start the Addicted series. I've heard lots of things about the Addicted Callaway series, and they're kind of really. When I first heard about this, they weren't really selling them at Barnes and Noble, but now they are. Kind of. Sometimes they don't. But anyways, Addicted to You series. All I know is it follows Lily Callaway and another guy. Lily and some other guy. Great. But she's addicted to sex and he's addicted to booze, and I think that they kind of form a friendship in order to hold each other accountable and help each other out. But obviously that probably turns into love. Anyways, yeah, but I'm excited. I'm gonna finally start this world. And I know a lot of people are obsessed with this, so I'm also way behind on this train. So sorry about it. Deal. I'm way behind on a lot of trains, okay? I went to college. I didn't have time to read these books when they were popular. But they still are kind of popular, so. I'm extremely constipated, but I know that when I go to the bathroom, nothing's gonna happen. So I hate myself. Anyways, the next book on my TBR is Magnolia Parks. I'm gonna start this universe. We're gonna see if I like it. I've heard mixed reviews, but I think that I'm gonna enjoy it. So this is about Magnolia and BJ. All I know is that I have read so many funny Goodreads reviews of this book. Please, literally look at the Goodreads reviews of this book because they low key crack me up. They're mixed reviews, but they seriously the bad ones crack me up. Anyways, I'm excited to read Magnolia Parks. I've heard that it is basically Gossip Girl but London. So that's right up my alley. Anyways, yeah, so I'm excited to read this. It's toxic romance relationship type thing. But yeah, Magnolia Parks, she's on my list. The next book, see, listen, okay, look, we've had all of these romances. The next book on my TBR is House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. See, I don't have a lot of variety on my TBR this month, nor last month what I read, so now we're popping this one in. I'm like one mystery horror a month, I guess. I don't know. But House of Hollow. Um my mommy got me this for Christmas. It was great. Um where did Grey Hollow go? I also don't know what this is about, but also I've heard great things about it. Hold on, they disappeared. Oh, that is so weird. Okay, so when they disappeared, as kids, they grew up and a lot of things changed about them. Like their blue eyes were black and their dark hair was white. That is so sus. Hmm. So basically, there's just a lot of very odd supernatural things happening. Okay. Yeah. Sick. All right. Well, this is also on my TBR, House of Hollow. We're gonna read her. I also love the cover. Can we just appreciate it for a second? So pretty. Anyways, the next book on my TBR is One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think it's a I think it's a romance, and I'm pretty sure it's a romance because it says it's a love story. So I think it's a romance, but you never know with Taylor Jenkins Reid. I thought Daisy Jones and the Six was going to be a romance. It wasn't. It was a lit fic, okay? Anyways, we're going to read One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I read Daisy Jones and the Six. So good. I'm going to read Malibu Rising at some point. That might be on this month's TBR as well. Let's add it to this month's TBR. So we're going to read One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. And you know what? We're also going to read Malibu Rising. Period. Look at her. I bought her. She's so pretty. Oh, I don't know. This is about surfers, I think. I'm like 90% sure it's about surfers. Yeah, super surfers. Anyways, Malibu Rising. I'm stoked to read this book. Yes, we're going to read her and we're going to read One True Loves. I don't know what either of them are really about, but I know that I love Taylor Jenkins Reid and her writing. Her writing is incredible. The final book on this TBR is The Simple Wild by K.A. Tucker. This is a book that I've kind of just been wanting to get off of my TBR, so I'm going to read it. Yeah, I don't know. It takes place in Toronto. Wait, no. It takes place in Alaska. And there's a romance in it. I don't know what the romance is, but it's in it. Period. The Simple Wild. We're gonna read it. It's a romance. It takes place in Alaska. And I think it's a bit summery. But whatever, it's mostly a romance. So we're gonna see how that goes. I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it. You never know. But yeah. That concludes today's video. I'm gonna go make pizza and edit this video later and post it as soon as I possibly can. I'll see you in the next video that I have planned. Hopefully, I will be filming that this weekend because I have 2 days off of work. So I should be able to get that done. Hopefully, because it's really, I need like 2 days off for this. Anyways, hope to catch you in the next video. It's gonna be so sick. Love ya. See ya.